In the opening scene of the drama, we see a huge fighter inside a ring somewhere in Mongolia in the year 2013. He is challenging the crowd to find himself a worthy opponent. To his and everyone's surprise, a little girl volunteers to step inside the ring. This little girl is none other than our main character, Nam Soon. The fighter thinks it to be a joke and can't help but make fun of the kid. But when the fight starts, the little girl lifts the huge fighter with one hand and throws him away like a bag of potatoes. Well, it's quite clear that the little girl is not at all ordinary. Meanwhile, at the same time, a man named Gang Bongo is talking to a journalist in a photo studio in South Korea. He is telling the journalist how he lost his daughter Gang Nam Soon in Mongolia on a trip when she was just 5 years old. Since then he has tried everything from posting in newspapers to TV news, but nothing helped. He feels guilty as he believes losing her was his fault. When the journalist asks more about Nam Soon, her father reveals that she is in fact a very special child with extraordinary strength. The journalist is having a hard time understanding what he meant by that. Bongo continues by saying that she inherited the supernatural powers from her mother Hwang Jiam-ju. He adds that these powers have been passed down for generations from mother to daughter in his former wife Jiam-ju's family. The scene then shifts to Jiam-ju, who is a rich businesswoman who owns a big pawn shop named Gold Blue. She too is desperately looking for her lost daughter and trying to figure out a way. Her assistant, Kang Nam-gil, suggests that she should organize a strength contest with a huge prize money. If her daughter inherits her mother's powers, she will be able to win it easily. Next, we see two men entering her office with a sword they claim to be ancient and rare. They are there to pawn the artifact in exchange for some cash. Jiam-ju refuses to take the offer, but after the continuous pleading of one of the men, she agrees. When she opens her safe to take out some money, the two men catch a glimpse of the huge amount of money kept in the safe. Out of greed, they threaten to harm Jiam-ju with a knife in hand and demand all the money. Jiam-ju doesn't even bother to be scared and instead asks them if they lied about the artifact being rare. The men laugh and exclaim that only fools would buy that story. Jiam-ju then easily overpowers the goons and kicks them out of her office with her super strength. Back in the photo studio, Bongo and the journalist are joined by Jiam-ju's brother Jiam-dong. On the journalist's question about how he met Nam Soon's mother, Bongo recollects how he met Jiam-ju for the first time in the year 1999. She has always been very good at running a business and had a restaurant back then. He used to help her with handling the accounts for her business, and soon they both fell in love.
Yeah, boy.
Over time they get married and Jiam-ju asks him to be a house husband and leave earnings up to her. After their marriage, the couple is getting ready for a happy moment. But seeing that the bed is not in the right place, Jiam-ju lifts the bed with one hand with Bongo still on it. Bongo is shocked as he had never witnessed her powers until then. After placing the bed in the desired place, Jiam-ju calms him and explains about her superpowers by lifting him like a baby. Next, we see the couple with their twin babies in a ceremony in front of their family and other guests. The baby girl is named Nam Soon and the boy is Nam In. In the ceremony, several items are kept on a table from which the babies are made to pick up something. Nam In picks up a food item while Nam Soon picks up the whole table and throws it at the crowd gathered. This confirmed Nam Soon successfully inherited her mother's superpowers. While growing up, Nam Soon often uses her super strength, and her father realizes that she is perhaps superior to her mother as, unlike her mother, she possessed other powers like super jump too. Then we see the moment when Bongo is searching for Nam Soon in a large open space in Mongolia where he went to take photographs of the stars in the clear skies. Then we are taken to Mongolia, where young Nam Soon is living with her foster parents. She goes by the name Setsig here. Even though she was very young when her foster parents found her, she knew belonged somewhere else because she often remembers unclear memories of her past. When she asks her foster parents about her real identity, they decide to tell her the truth. They tell her how they found her one night in the grasslands with a horse. Her foster mother takes out the sweater she was wearing that day and the golden staff she had with her. Seeing the Korean letters in the tag of the sweater, she realized that she used to live in South Korea before. She then wishes to visit Korea someday to meet her real parents. And she tells her foster parents that she won't be leaving now. She'll earn lots of money by rearing sheep to save up for her trip. Growing up, Nam Soon loved watching Korean shows on the TV. One day when PSY's Gangnam Style was playing on the TV, she got a flashback of someone calling her by the name Gangnam Soon. She realizes that Nam Soon is her real name and she is probably from the Gangnam district. After 10 years, in the present time, we see that Nam Soon has grown up to become a beautiful young lady. Her foster father tells her that it's time for her to go to Korea to find her real parents. She should go there, find a good husband, and get married too. She laughs it off as she doesn't want to leave them behind. But she too realizes that it's finally time for her to leave. Meanwhile, in Korea, Jeomju, her mother Gil Jungan, Bongo, and Nam In are attending another strength competition Jeomju has arranged to find her daughter. Surprisingly, a girl named Hwaja wins the competition. Jeomju is convinced that she has finally found her lost daughter, as there has been no winner for the last 10 years until now. But Bongo doesn't feel the same but decides to stay quiet. Jeomju takes Hwaja with her and treats her with a lavish meal. She asks Hwaja about her past, to which she replies that she used to live in an orphanage in Mongolia since she was 5 years old, and she then moved to Korea a few years ago to work as a laborer. Hwaja is then taken to Jeomju's home, which is actually a big mansion. There Young Na Young, Jeomju's personal secretary, shows Hwaja her new bedroom. Hwa is delighted to see the wealthy household and jumps into her new comfortable bed. But as
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Expression change, everyone in the family has gathered for dinner to celebrate the day. Jeomju is happy to finally find her daughter again. But Bongo expresses his doubt regarding the new girl. He adds that Nam Soon has a mark under her left foot which was left after a small accident in her childhood. Jeomju gets furious at him for not letting her know about the accident back then, but Bongo retaliates by claiming that she was never there for the kids. He was the only one looking after them. Namin's obesity is also brought into their argument and Bongo blames Jeomju for his condition.
Why are we still here?
Later at night, Jeomju enters Hwaja's room while she's sleeping. She checks Hwaja's left foot and finds the mark on it. This wakes Hwaja up, but Jeomju only embraces her with tears of joy. Meanwhile, in Mongolia, Nam Soon finds her horse lying dead in front of their house. She cries out of sadness, but her foster father consoles her by saying that the poor animal must have felt that she is about to leave. In sadness, Nam Soon takes the bell tied to the horse's neck and throws it away into the sky. The bell reaches all the way to Korea and hits a police officer named Gang Hee-sik from behind. He is surprised to find a bell hitting him out of nowhere. Then we see Jeomju walking into her office. She sees a woman desperately asking for money from her assistant by trying to keep her property as a mortgage. The assistant is explaining to the woman that they cannot provide her with money as she already has a lot of debt. Seeing Jeomju, the woman then requests her to help her out. Jeomju agrees to give her the money, but seeing her desperate state, she knows something's wrong. She decides to follow the woman after she leaves. Jeom puts on a dress like Black Widow and follows the woman on her bike. After following her a bit, she notices that the woman's car is moving alongside another car. The guy inside the other car hands the woman some type of medication and speeds away. He's sick. The police officer we saw earlier is also following the cars after getting some leads on a Diet Coke case. Seeing the dealers getting away, he tries to catch them but fails and ends up stopping the woman's car. But to his surprise, Jeomju speeds ahead after the dealers in hot pursuit of her bike after performing a jump stunt over the car. Jeom finally catches up with the dealers inside a tunnel, and when they don't listen to her, she tilts the car back and forth with her bare hands. Hee-sik has also reached the tunnel but is further shocked to see Jeomju shaking the car so easily. Back in the police station, everyone praises Hee-sik for successfully catching the Diet Coke dealers on his own. But Hee-sik is still wondering about Jeomju's extraordinary strength. Then the police get information about Diet Coke smuggled to Korea on a plane from Mongolia. We come to know that it's the same plane in which Nam Soon is also traveling. We also see Ryo-shi-oh, a passenger traveling in first class. Meanwhile, at home, Jiam-ju tells Hwa-ja about the inheritance of superpowers among the women of their family, which has been going on for ages. She also tells her that Nam Soon is supposed to be the strongest of them all. On the other hand, the plane that Nam Soon is flying with is facing some technical issues. The situation quickly escalates when the pilots lose control of the plane when they try to land the plane. Nam Soon steps up to save the day and she gets out of the plane midair by kicking the door open. She dashes towards the landing gear using her super speed and uses the full potential of her super strength to stop the plane. While doing so, an aura forms around her, and the same aura forms around her mother and grandmother. Jiam-ju, who was with Hwa-ja at the moment, realizes that Hwa-ja is not Nam Soon as she doesn't have the aura formed around her. She realizes that it's the real Nam Soon who has used the full potential of their superpowers, leading to the appearance of the aura. The passengers get out of the plane in panic after Nam Soon saves the day. In the chaos, we see Shi-oh smiling at Nam Soon from a distance before the episode ends.